Evening, folks, and welcome to our first member session of 2022. I must upfront apologize a little bit for the noise. I'm not sitting in my study as I often am. There are various reasons for that, partly because we've now got our favorite restaurants back to ourselves. So for those of you who have been tourists to our beautiful part of the world, I appreciate it. But yeah, we're coming out of our holes again, and I've been sitting here for the afternoon doing some work. Right, so today is our first official member session, and we're going to kick it off this year with giving you guys the opportunity to well, let's have a bit of a Q&A. I think that is, well, it's certainly been something that people have been asking for based on what we've done with our funded account members. And I'm going to be offering you guys more opportunity to ask questions, and we can run through any problems that you have, answer any questions that you might have around, obviously, trading generally, but the course material that we have here at GoPro Trading Academy in particular. And in order to be able to do that, all you need to do is pop a question into the chat box, as always, for those of you who are used to this process, and I will answer those questions. So I think many of you have already come with some questions, and we will simply be answering those one by one. All right, so whilst you do that, I also want to point out that, as promised, I'm going to be letting you know just a couple of news items in our call today. We will also post these, obviously, in our various groups, but just a few items where we've made some progress, as we always are looking to do in helping you guys achieve your success, helping support you in finding the right providers, right tools, and so on. So also we've been doing some work behind the scenes on and improving the tools that we have available for you as well. All right, so without further ado then, I'm going to in fact talk about, and that's why I've got it up on the screen, the first one. Many of you are subscribers of the GoPro Trade Manager, and just to give you a little bit of an update on where we are at with that. And once again, folks, please make sure that you get your questions into the chat box, because I will be coming back to that in a second. But one of the main things that we have done as an improvement over the recent couple of months was to apply an additional rule that allows you to scale in under certain conditions. This is something that we've done in various forms over the last couple of decades, obviously. It's also something that you will also learn about if you go and even read about how the turtle traders maximized their success back in the 1980s, which is quite some time ago. But this is certainly a principle that absolutely does work. However, it is an advanced technique. Having said that, it is also, as with many of the things that we teach at the Academy, it is reflective of the principle of convexity. So being able to scale in is a very important principle, and looking at different techniques for doing that and being able to apply those techniques where they work is an important string to the bow of any successful trader. So what we've done, and we've discussed this in our mentoring program late last year as well, and there will be training in the Academy to bring you guys fully up to speed on this. What we have done in the Trade Manager, though, is provided the facility for you to be able to get the Trade Manager to increase the position size of trades once certain conditions have been met. And the obvious one would be to say, well, once you have a winning trade in a correlated market, then it would make sense to increase the position size on the next trade. Now, this is a little bit more advanced compared to what even the turtle traders used to do, and is particularly relevant for the style of trading that we teach you here at GoPro Trading Academy, which is focused around maximizing the benefit of convexity in uncertain environments. And effectively, there's a couple of ways that you can use the tool. You'll notice, first of all, that when you get your upgraded version of the Trade Manager, that for certain strategies, there is an option for scaling in down at the bottom. So as always, our notes will tell you how to use it. I'm going to give you a bit of a description on that now. If you have a 0 in the first box over here, there won't be any scaling in. If you have a 1, then what it'll do is once you have a winning trade for a particular strategy, it will then triple the size of the position for the next trade. Now, this is particularly relevant for correlated markets. So if you are trading at the moment only currencies, certainly folks who've been trading our funded trader program up until now will know that we focus particularly on currencies only, especially in the evaluation stage, then there's a lot of correlation amongst those markets. So our testing has shown quite clearly that if you then start scaling into the next trade, then overall it significantly improves your long-term profitability without having much of an impact on your maximum drawdown. So remember, as professional traders, we're looking at both sides of that equation, not only increasing profitability, but doing so at the same or even lower risk. So that would be the first option. The second would be, well, what if you've got a few trades that are on the table that are in profit, that are going towards the take profit, but nothing has actually hit take profit yet? Is it not possible to have an option whereby, given the fact that it looks like the markets are turning in our favor, we should be able to scale into the next trade based on certain criteria more quickly? And certainly, in order to do that, you could put option 2 in there, but then you need to specify the threshold of open profit that you have on the table in order for that to take place. So in this particular instance, where we would be trading an average position size of 0.2% of our open equity, then as soon as our open profit exceeds 0.2%, it will immediately, if there's another trade to be taken, it will immediately increase that trade's position size, also by a factor of 3. Now that factor is fixed in place. We've tested that. Certainly we can change that as an option, but for the moment we don't really want to offer too much variability on that. So it does mean, however, that if you are going to take the next trade at the moment, your position size will be tripled. And it will continue to do that. It will continue to take a position size of triple as long as you don't have a losing trade. As soon as you have a losing trade, it brings it straight back down to the standard percentage risk, which in this case is 0.2%. Now, bear in mind, it will only go to triple that. So it'll only go from 0.2 to 0.6 in this particular instance. So if we were to change our risk percent per trade to 1%, then it would go up to 3, and we'd keep it at 3, and then it would bring it back down to 1 again as soon as you have a losing trade. That has made quite a big difference to the results of our test accounts over the last while. It's an option for you guys. You've got the Trade Manager. It is only available at the moment in the Daily Impulse and the H4 Impulse because of the underlying premise of those strategies. Obviously, you'd understand that something like an overlay, that wouldn't necessarily be the right thing to do. But should you want us to give you that option for the overlay, we can do that too. All right, so that is one of the things that I want to describe to you guys here on the Trade Manager. It's been really worthwhile for the folks who've been using it over the last 6 months since we launched it. One of the things that somebody mentioned to me a while ago was they tried it on their demo account because we do give you guys the option of having it for a very small once-off fee on a demo account. Whereas the cost of the license for a live account is a little bit more. And they worked out that by not having it on their live account, it cost them $1,200 in lost winnings, lost opportunity of winnings in the space of 2 months, which was almost 10 times what it would have cost them to actually have paid for the Trade Manager. So this is supposed to be something, a tool that will help you to increase your ability to be profitable as a trader. The cost is meant to be the cheapest money that you've ever spent, as with everything at GoPro Trading Academy. All right, so that's the one thing I wanted to mention to you guys about the trade manager. I don't see any questions coming through in the chat box, folks. There, as Karine mentioned to you in the announcement, tonight is in fact primarily about me answering your trading questions. So once again, if you have anything to ask me, please do pop it into the chat box. Otherwise, it's going to be a very short call this evening. All right, so while I wait for that, I may as well let you know that we have another newsworthy announcement to make. And again, this is about making sure that we are helping you guys to overcome as many of the obstacles to success in trading as possible. One of which, of course, is around brokers. Now, the broker that we have recommended, if you like, for many years at the Academy has been Vantage FX. And well, they're a pretty decent broker, well regulated, and all the reasons that we talk about in our broker evaluation section. You guys all have access to that to make sure that you're using a good broker. And Advantage FX certainly have been a good broker for folks with small accounts, particularly over the long term. When it comes to bigger accounts, we've obviously helped our members to access ECN brokers that that aren't necessarily available easily on the retail market. And certainly for our funded account program, folks who are part of that have had access to brokers that certainly are not at all available to the retail market. But when it comes to looking to make sure that at all times our broker is the best that we have available, it is a topic that we are always investigating. We're always looking for better options, and we have in fact decided to move as our primary recommendation away from Vantage FX to another broker. The broker is called Global Prime. We have also been able to negotiate with them favorable terms for our members who join up as Academy members. So that is something that you might well want to bear in mind should you be looking to change brokers. As I say, Vantage FX is fine, but the Global Prime offering has several advantages. First of all, the cost of trading is quite a bit lower. It is also across all accounts. It offers you access not just to an STP environment, but to an ECN environment. So even if you're trading a relatively small account, you're able to get better settlement and better prices as well. So worth bearing that in mind. If you wanted to do a change, just let us know, but it's very easy to do a broker to broker transfer. It doesn't cost anything. So just for your information, as far as that's concerned, this is something that a few of you maybe have already experienced. We changed brokers to Vantage FX about 4 or 5 years ago. Those of you who were with the Tarsus Academy beforehand, we are always looking to get better providers for our members, and looking to make sure that those folks that we use ourselves are helping all of us, including our members, to achieve their trading goals. All right, so if you guys have got any questions about any of these things, please again do pop it into the chat box. Right. Nivik's asking, he's been trading at 0.2% trade up until now. Must know if it would be advisable to increase to 0.4% per trade. Nivik, on the funded trader program, depending on the goal, if you are needing to hit that take profit goal within a certain amount of time, it may well be worth doing that. I think also if you've only been trading the high time frame strategy, that's something that maybe you'd want to start looking to do potentially. There would have to be a reason behind that. If you want to chat about that in terms of your individual circumstances, then happy to do that. You're obviously part of our funded trader program, so maybe set up a chat with me. Happy to talk about the specifics around your situation there in a one-on-one call. Right. So Dave's asking if he sets up all the parameters to trade, is there any way of backing them up if the demo account is closed? As per the comment of the new broker, yes, absolutely there is, Dave. So to answer that question first, before I get to your second question, you just need to, and we've actually got this in our training around how to use the MT4 platform. You absolutely can back up all of your settings in any MT4 platform and then load it up into any other MT4 platform, and it will look exactly the same. So all of the work you've done in your technical analysis, all you need to do is save your profiles and move that across to the underlying folder for your new platform. So you can do that across computers, you can do it on the same computer, you can even use it across different brokers. Absolutely no problem at all. As I say, we do have training on that already. We can do more training on it if you like, but if you just check out the YouTube channel in particular, and also just have a look at the training that we've got on MT4 as well inside of the Academy. All right. What are the rules of the funded account? Dave, the funded account program is absolutely available as a document. Anybody who's interested in being a funded account participant or participating within the funded trader program, just drop us an email. We have details around all of the rules for that. It is in fact an agreement, so you need to peruse that yourself, and once you have satisfied yourself that you understand all the aspects of it, then certainly then only then would we expect you to go ahead with it. So yes is the answer. It is available in a document for anybody who's interested in going ahead with the program. One thing that is also worth pointing out, seeing as these questions are coming up, is as with the broker, in fact, the discussion is very closely tied. We have also been investigating an alternative for our funded account program and our funded trader program. There's lots of great things about our funded trader program, no two ways about that, but there are also a few limitations that we haven't been particularly satisfied about, including, for instance, the variety of instruments that are tradable. So we have been investigating an alternative partner that we can assist our members to set up with. So bear in mind, our long-term goal for our members at the GoPro Trading Academy is to become a professional trader. That's what the name implies. And a professional trader is somebody who trades other people's money. And when it comes to that, as much as possible. And the best and most capital that is available in the institutional environment, which I come from. So it really has been my goal all along, and currently still is, to assist our members to access institutional capital. And in order to do that, there are a number of hurdles, obviously, that we need to help you to overcome. So one of those, in fact, the goal of the funded trader program is exactly that, is to assist you to develop a track record trading other people's money that will allow you to trade really significant amounts of capital. If you think $2.5 million is good, well, I can tell you that that's nothing for what our successful members will be trading long term. So it is all about that at the end of the day. All right, so Dave, I hope that helps answer that. Do you have any specific questions you want to ask about the funded account program? It is obviously good to look at the document. I guess in a couple of brief things just to mention about it is that the program is there to assist you to learn how to achieve certain profit targets whilst avoiding certain maximum drawdown levels, which means that you know how to manage risk. You know, if you look at absolute return funds like Winton Capital, you know, Dave Harding, who started Winton Capital, makes between £500 million and £1 billion a year in his personal capacity, and it's mainly because of capital under management. So it's all about being able to help investors achieve certain goals, and they're not the kind of freaky goals that we hear about in the Forex industry where people want to double their money every few months. Not at all. It's about helping to beat what is available to people, to your average investor out there at the same or even lower levels of risk. And we have proven over and over again in our fund that that is possible. So at the Academy, our goal is to help empower people to do just that. Dave's asking about the amount of capital required to join. Great question. Well, not a lot. In fact, again, this is a very important thing that we're trying to achieve with our members. Is we want you to be able to access huge amounts of capital at little to no risk to yourself. So how much does it cost to join? Well, we've actually negotiated now with our with the provider to be able to join the funded trader program or have access to the evaluation account. Well, let's give an example. For a $10,000 account, it's £400. That is also refundable if you in our new program, if you actually pass the evaluation stage. So it will only be a cost if you don't actually pass the evaluation stage. So £400 to get access to a $10,000 account. If you pass the evaluation stage, you get given a $100,000 live money trading account at no additional cost. In fact, there is no additional cost as long as you continue to meet the relatively or the reasonable profit targets without having the maximum drawdowns that are in place. So, and that keeps going up at keeps doubling all the way up until $2.5 million. So in other words, what I'm saying is that if you were to go for a $10,000 evaluation account, it would cost you nothing if you pass it, and you will end up with a $2.5 million real live money account. But obviously, if you don't pass the evaluation stage, then you do not get the amount refunded. All right, so that's just talking about some of the new things that we've got on the table, and hopefully, Dave, that answers that question. Because also, if you could please just drop us that request at support@gptacademy.com. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Pumlan is asking, will the new server change on Vantage affect the trade manager? No, it doesn't. Not at all. In fact, also Pumlani, if you basically, if you, as long as the account number stays the same, it doesn't make any, there's no difference at all. If you do change your account number, then obviously that's a different story. We just need to give you new codes, but otherwise it doesn't affect that. Great questions, guys. I appreciate it. Anyone else got any questions for me? I think this is something that's really worth having on a regular basis. So I think we will run it again next week. And I would just ask though that folks come with your questions. Make sure you're going through the training material. We've got a huge amount of material that's on the Academy for you. Make sure that you're going through it steadily. And many of you have already expressed to me the value of going back and revising material that you went through several months before. And it's almost like going through it for the first time. So I think that I can really, really recommend to everybody who's a member to do just that. Dave's saying, from what I'm saying, the entry cost is £400. Then you need to pass, quite right. Then no further costs all the way to $2.5 million. Dave, that is exactly right. A lot of people don't believe me when I tell them that, but that is 100% right. So the point being is that, you know, when you're trading these accounts, you get a certain profit percentage, but then the provider of the capital is getting the rest. So they're investing in you based on the fact that, you know, you're a member of the the GoPro Trading Academy, and we've obviously been vetted by these guys to trade their capital. They will profit from it, and so will you. They're giving you, it's a joint venture effectively. You're getting a chunk of the profits, they're getting the rest. Everybody's happy. It's a win-win-win situation. Liesel's saying Advantage cancel the demo account. Great. Okay, so right, the folks, the thing with a demo account, and I've mentioned this before, and I really want to reiterate it, is always join a broker. And in fact, whether it be Vantage or Global Prime now, only join up with a live link. Okay, you open up a live account first. You don't have to fund it. Just open up a live account, even if it's unfunded. And once you have done that, then open up a demo account. With that demo account, once you've opened that demo account, you simply need to request the broker to keep it open. Liesel, it's possible that the demo accounts Advantage, now that they've changed over their servers, has caused a problem with demo accounts. It won't affect live accounts, of course. That is a possibility. And anybody who is obviously a client of Vantage, you should have received an email giving you the details around the changes. So just make sure that you follow those instructions, and it shouldn't be a problem. Kevin's asking that there would soon be info available on the hybrid strategy. Kevin, it will be something that is available to all members. One of the things that I'm always very big on stressing to our members is don't jump into a new strategy until you've got the more bread and butter strategies going well for you. The hybrid strategy is definitely more advanced. There's people on this call who are trading it, and people who've been part of our mentorship program. We've spent some time working through the strategy in quite a bit of detail. It is a great strategy, but it's tough to trade, and certainly not suitable for somebody who's not already confident in their competence in trading something like the H4 impulse, at least. So there will be training coming out. I'm a little bit loath to offer a shiny new object to people who are, and let's face it, we are all relatively subject to that that cognitive bias of jumping at the latest shiny new object. The hybrid strategy is a demanding strategy to trade. It is a very convex strategy. When we look at putting together a portfolio of strategies, it is very much on the left end of the convexity spectrum. So you need to get a more bread and butter type strategy, like a standard targeting H4 impulse working first for you, because you will need to apply them effectively together. And as you will see, they do actually work hand in hand. But to answer your question, it will be available to all members. It's not that I'm looking to charge more for it, anything, not at all. It's really about helping you to be successful as a trader and making sure that you don't jump from one thing to another. Okay, Lisa, that's great. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't answer for the broker, so hopefully they do give you that extension. Kumlan is asking about indices and commodities and the trade manager. Great question. Well, the answer is, in the longer term, yes. And that is actually part and parcel of what I've been telling you tonight in terms of the new broker. And also one of the things that we've been looking to try and improve with our existing funded account partners and their broker. It's one of the things that's it's forced us to look further afield for alternatives. So let's talk about that in the future. And yeah, it is definitely on the cards for money. Kevin, I'm glad to hear that. That's great. Okay, perfect. Look, if you want to learn more about the hybrid, then certainly look out for the new training when it does come out. We've got quite a bit of it in sort of video form, if you like, but getting it all into an integrated strategy training course. As you can see, we take quite a lot of time to put those together to try and make sure that they are very comprehensive. But if you're looking for some training on that in the interim, we can put something together. Dave's asking, when will you get the details of the new broker? Well, if you want to join, they are already available inside the academy. So if you go into the broker selection guide and look at who we recommend, we have already changed it from Vantage FX to the new broker Global Prime. You're welcome to go direct. If you use our link, we get a small introductory commission, and you get better pricing. So you don't pay for it at the end of the day, but check it out there. Pino's asking, can I be advised to trade only a handful of instruments, say the majors and minors, until one becomes familiar with correlation? Pino, one of the things, in fact, what you're addressing here is something that relates to what I mentioned earlier about the scaling in. The strategy for scaling in that we have, in fact, takes advantage of correlation. So Pino is very familiar with the fact that correlation is one of the biggest risk problems that we have as traders. Well, what our scaling in strategy is designed to do is to help us to turn the tables on that risk and turn it into a good thing rather than being a bad thing. So if you've got a set of correlated instruments that you trade, and let's face it, most instruments are correlated to one degree or another, some obviously much more closely than others. If you have, if you get into a trade that's working on one instrument, and then there's a setup on a correlated instrument, then you get to triple the position size on that. It's something that over the longer term definitely has significant positive impact on your results without significantly increasing the risk. So obviously there is a potential increase in the risk in a worst case scenario, but we can manage that with our maximum position size. So it really all works together hand in hand in terms of looking to make sure that your positioning on your risk reward continuum that we always talk about in our training is in exactly the right place. It is cool. Thank you. It's pretty good. So yeah, the new version of the Trade Manager will be available to you guys. Well, it's ready basically. So we'll probably roll it out this weekend. Normally we do it around month end, but obviously given all of the year end stuff and holidays and what have you, we didn't do it then. But happy to make it available to you guys on this weekend. Kevin's asking, would Trade Manager help traders no matter what their trade experience? Well, yes, it does. No question about it. In fact, it makes the job of every trader easier. That's why it's there. But I would always caution somebody against jumping into something that makes life easier if it stops you from learning things that you need to learn. So yes, certainly. Look, I mean, we do offer it with a very small once-off cost on demo accounts, so that you can get the hang of it and check it out for yourself and decide whether it's for you or not. Learn how to use it before committing to using it on live accounts. But the answer, Kevin, is yes, certainly. It helps everybody, but what I don't want it to do is to prevent you from learning basic lessons in trading that you need to know. So it's all well and good having a shortcut available, but I would rather you understand what goes into what the Trade Manager does and be familiar with what it's helping you with, than for me just to hand it over, if you know what I mean. But certainly give it a bash. You know, we have it available. If you're interested, drop us a line. It is The general guidance around the trade manager is available to you in the strategy center, so have a look at it. Correlated instruments again, surprise. Well, quite frankly, the question is will they be trading on trading correlated instruments? I'm pretty sure we do that all the time. Surprise! It's one of those things which we can't escape. Lines asking, not mentioning names, how many members have made it past the evaluation stage? A few. Okay, so I don't actually have the exact number in front of me from Lani. It's, yeah, look, you guys must understand that I always make it very clear that anybody can make it, but just because anybody can doesn't mean that everybody will. So I don't have that number in front of me, but remember also it's quite new to us. We're looking to get we're looking to have 100 folks who are through to the 2.5 million stage within the next 3 to 5 years. So that's the goal. Obviously, we're going to be growing the Academy membership in order to do that. I would, however, expect that would probably be about 1 in 5 will actually make it to that level. Not because anybody can't, just because not everybody really has the appetite to do what needs to be done. You must understand, folks, you're in the funded trader program, you really are trading someone else's money. Yes, they are professional investors and they understand how it works. But in order to make it, you need to learn how to be really effective as a trader and rigorous in your approach and rigorous with yourself. You know, trading is an interesting game because of how it challenges our ability to be absolutely consistent in following a process when dealing with an environment that's characterized by what's effectively randomness or certainly extreme uncertainty. And not everybody's prepared to do what needs to be done in order to be successful in doing that. We obviously look to do everything we can to make that path as straight as possible for our members. So cool. All right, folks, any other questions? Apologies again for the noise interference. I hope it's been okay. Awesome. All right, folks. Well, welcome to 2022, and I hope you all had a blessed festive season, and we're able to make the most of it. And are all now well rested and ready to launch yourselves into a new year. I'm hoping that the success of the Academy will be reflected through the success of our members. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, that's the only way that it can be. So I'm looking forward to a year where I help you guys go from strength to strength, achieving your goals, becoming really good traders, and through that, obviously achieving the lifestyle goals that you're looking to achieve in, let's face it, what is a very challenging environment that we've faced with in the world today. Certainly, it makes it a lot easier when you no longer are reliant on an employer or a government or anything else or anybody else in order to be able to put food on the table, and also having that geographical freedom that we as traders are able to enjoy. So let's make the most of this year, and I'm looking forward to having that journey together with you guys. You're welcome. Thanks, folks, for attending, taking the time out of your evening. Appreciate it. And if there are any training areas that you would like me to cover in more detail, then please do drop us an email at support@gptacademy.com. And you're also welcome to get in touch with us, obviously, on social media, and we will make sure to cover whatever it is that you need us to do. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Perfect. Folks, I'll chat to you all again soon. Bye for now.